The gym didn't announce itself. No neon sign, no music spilling onto the street. Just a narrow concrete building wedged between a closed tailor shop and a late-night noodle place that smelled faintly of garlic and steam. If you didn't already know what happened inside, you'd walk past it without a second glance. Inside, the air was sharp. Bare feet slapped against worn mats. Cotton uniforms snapped with each movement. The rhythmic thud of kicks striking heavy pads echoed off the walls like distant thunder. This wasn't a place for beginners. No mirrors, no posters, no motivational slogans taped to the wall. Only discipline, only repetition. And in the center of it all stood Kim Jong-ril, 6 feet tall, lean, carved, coiled like a spring that never fully relaxed. His dobok was spotless despite the heat. Sleeves rolled precisely to mid-forearm. Every movement he made looked deliberate, calculated, like he was constantly demonstrating, even when he wasn't trying to. Kim was a Taekwondo master, not the kind who taught kids after school, not the kind who handed out belts for attendance. Kim had competed internationally. His name had circulated quietly among serious martial artists in California during the late 1960s. People said his kicks were impossible to read. People said his roundhouse came faster than the eye could follow. Kim said something else entirely. He said his kicks were faster than lightning. The students believed him. They'd seen him kick a candle out without disturbing the flame next to it. They'd seen him snap boards in midair before gravity could finish its work. They'd seen grown men flinch before his leg had even finished chambering. To them, Kim Jong-ril wasn't just fast, he was untouchable. That belief hung thick in the gym that afternoon. The heat didn't help. Los Angeles summers had a way of turning small rooms into furnaces, and this one trapped warmth like a sealed box. Sweat darkened the mats. Breath came heavier with each drill. Still, no one slowed down. Kim paced in front of the line of students, arms folded, eyes sharp. Again, he said. A young black belt stepped forward, nervous but eager. He bowed. Kim nodded once. The kick came without warning. Kim's leg snapped upward, heel slicing through the air with a sound like fabric tearing. The student's pad jumped backward before his brain caught up. Kim's foot was already back on the ground, posture perfect, balance untouched. The room murmured. Kim didn't smile. Too slow, he said calmly. That's when the door opened. Not dramatically. No pause. No announcement. Just the soft creak of hinges and the subtle shift in air pressure as someone stepped inside. Most people didn't notice at first. A few students near the entrance glanced over then looked away. Another man in plain clothes. Nothing unusual. Los Angeles gyms saw plenty of visitors. But Kim noticed. He always did. The newcomer wasn't wearing a uniform. Loose black pants, simple gray t-shirt. No shoes, no bag. No visible tension in his body at all. He didn't scan the room. He didn't look impressed. He simply stood there, still as water in a glass. Kim studied him for a moment longer than necessary. Something felt off. The man didn't carry himself like a spectator, nor like a student hoping to learn. There was no hesitation in his posture, no uncertainty in his stance. He wasn't taking anything in because he didn't need to. He already understood. Kim turned back to his class. "Break," he said. The students relaxed, grateful. Towels came out. Water bottles opened. Quiet conversations filled the space. But more than a few eyes kept drifting toward the man by the door. Kim approached him slowly. Up close, the size difference became obvious. Kim outweighed him by at least 30 pounds. His legs alone were thicker than the newcomer's torso. Years of kicking had built them into living steel cables. The stranger, by contrast, looked almost slight, compact, defined, but not imposing. Kim stopped a few feet away. "You watching my class?" Kim said. Not a question. The man met his gaze. Calm, unblinking. "Yes." His voice was soft, measured, a trace of Hong Kong beneath the English. Kim tilted his head slightly. "Who are you?" "Bruce," the man said. "Bruce Lee." The name didn't land the way Bruce might have expected. A few students frowned, trying to place it. Others didn't react at all. This wasn't Hollywood. This wasn't television. This was a Taekwondo gym. And Bruce Lee at this moment wasn't a legend here. Kim nodded slowly. You practice martial arts? He asked. Yes. What style? Bruce paused. Just a fraction. No style. That earned a chuckle from one of the students nearby. Kim's eyebrow twitched. No style, Kim repeated. Then what do you practice? I practice efficiency, Bruce said. Kim exhaled through his nose, amused. Efficiency. That was the word people used when they couldn't explain their limitations. And you came here to watch? Kim asked. To observe, Bruce replied. Your kicking is impressive. The compliment was genuine. Kim could hear it. That didn't mean he trusted it. You're a small man, Kim said plainly. Kicks like mine require power. Timing, years of specialization. Bruce nodded. Yes, that was all. Kim waited for more. An argument, a correction, something. Nothing came. One of the senior students stepped closer, arms crossed. Master Kim's kicks are the fastest in the state, he said, unable to stop himself. Some say in the country. Kim didn't stop him. Bruce looked at the student, then back to Kim. They are fast, Bruce agreed, but speed is not what most people think it is. That did it. Kim's smile appeared not wide, not friendly. Sharp. You believe you understand speed better than me. I believe, Bruce said carefully, that speed without timing is just movement. A few students exchanged looks. Kim folded his arms. You know what they say about my kicks? He asked. Bruce didn't answer. They say my kicks are faster than lightning, Kim continued. Too fast to see, too fast to react to. Bruce tilted his head slightly, considering. Lightning, he said, is visible before it strikes. A pause. The room quieted without anyone asking it to. Kim stepped closer. You think you could stop my kick? Bruce didn't retreat. I think, he said, that if you miss, you will understand why. Kim laughed. It was short, sharp, confident. Miss? He said. I don't miss. Bruce's eyes never left his. Then there will be nothing to learn, Bruce replied. The silence that followed wasn't awkward. It was electric. Kim studied him now not as a visitor, not as a curiosity, but as a variable. Something outside the system he understood. You want to test this? Kim asked quietly. I didn't come to challenge you, Bruce said. But if you want answers, movement provides them faster than words. A student whispered, Is he serious? Kim heard it. He turned slightly, raising a hand. The room stilled again. You believe kicks can be countered? Kim asked Bruce. I believe, Bruce said, that every movement creates an opening. Kim nodded once. Then we will see, he said. He turned to his students. Clear the floor. Mats shifted. Bodies moved. A rough circle formed instinctively, as if everyone understood what was about to happen before it was spoken aloud. This wasn't a demonstration. This wasn't instruction. This was something else. Kim removed his belt, folded it neatly, and set it aside. Bruce stepped forward. No bow, no stance, just stillness. Kim raised one leg slowly, deliberately, showing perfect balance. His students watched with confidence. They'd seen this hundreds of times. Bruce didn't adjust, didn't flinch, didn't prepare. Kim's lips curled slightly. You won't even see it, he said. Bruce exhaled. We'll find out. Kim's foot touched the mat again. The room held its breath. 9 seconds. That's all it would take. But no one knew it yet. The room felt smaller once the circle closed. Not physically, no walls had moved, but psychologically. The air thickened, as if every breath had to push past expectation before it could reach the lungs. Sweat cooled on skin. Muscles that had just been relaxed tightened again, not from exertion, but from anticipation. Kim Jong-ryol stood loose, balanced, weight evenly distributed. This wasn't a sparring stance. This was the posture of someone who didn't expect resistance. Someone who had already decided how the next few seconds would end. Bruce Lee stood opposite him, still, not rigid, not coiled, just present. To the untrained eye, it looked like passivity, like ignorance, like someone about to be overwhelmed. Kim's students knew better than to shout, but the confidence radiated from them anyway. They'd seen challengers before. Boxers, karate practitioners, gym fighters with something to prove. Every one of them had learned the same lesson. You do not outrun lightning. Kim lifted his leg again slowly. This time he held it there. Perfect balance. No wobble. No strain. His supporting foot rooted into the mat like it had grown there. The raised leg hovered, knee chambered, toes relaxed. "Watch carefully," Kim said, not to Bruce, but to the room. "This is speed." The leg snapped out and back in a blur. Crack. The sound came first. The sight followed a fraction later. Ghost rippled through the circle. Bruce hadn't moved. Kim smiled. That, Kim continued, was half speed. He turned slightly, showing the angle of his hip, the alignment of his knee, the recoil. Teaching now, demonstrating dominance through generosity. Bruce nodded once. "Very clean," he said. Kim raised an eyebrow. "Clean," he repeated. "You're calm for someone who almost lost his ribs." "You didn't aim for my ribs," Bruce replied. "You aimed past them." A pause. Kim's smile thinned. "Explain," he said. "You wanted to show speed," Bruce said evenly. "Not intent." One of the students frowned. Kim's leg lowered slowly to the mat. "You think you can read intent?" Kim asked. "I think," Bruce said, "that when a man is certain he will win, he demonstrates. When he is uncertain, he commits." That landed harder than a kick. Kim exhaled, then laughed lightly. "All right," he said. "Enough talk." He shifted his weight. This time, there was no warning, no chamber, no teaching moment. The kick came straight in, fast, direct, brutal, a true strike. The heel cut toward Bruce's midsection with the sharp efficiency of something honed for years to do one thing perfectly. This wasn't about showing speed. This was about impact. The students leaned forward instinctively. Bruce moved, not back, not away, in. His step was small, almost invisible. A slight shift off the line of attack. Kim's heel passed where Bruce had been standing less than a heartbeat earlier. Bruce's forearm rose, not to block, but to touch. Just a brush. Kim felt it immediately. Not pain. Disruption. His leg recoiled faster than intended, balance adjusting mid-motion. He landed cleanly, but something in his rhythm had been interrupted. The room murmured. Kim reset. Again, this time a roundhouse, high and vicious, aimed at Bruce's head. The kick snapped upward with terrifying speed, the air cracking around it. Bruce's head tilted. Just enough. The heel missed by inches. Bruce's hand tapped Kim's calf on the way past. Tap. Kim landed, eyes narrowing now. He wasn't smiling anymore. "You're fast," Kim said. "So are you," Bruce replied. "But you're touching me," Kim said. "You're not striking." "I'm listening," Bruce said. Kim shook his head once. Enough. He inhaled deeply, centering himself. His posture changed. Less demonstration, more predatory. The playful confidence drained away, replaced by something colder. This was no longer about reputation. This was about control. Kim exploded forward, a combination now. A low kick to disrupt balance, followed immediately by a high spinning hook kick, the kind that ended matches when it landed cleanly. The low kick skimmed the mat. Bruce lifted his leg, not to check it, but to step over it, inside the arc. Too close. The spinning kick followed, but Bruce was already past the danger zone. His body turned with Kim's momentum, not against it. His palm pressed lightly against Kim's hip, guiding the rotation just a degree further than intended. Kim spun, over-rotated, recovered. Barely. He stopped, chest rising and falling faster now. The silence was complete. No one spoke. No one breathed loudly. They were watching something unfamiliar, something unsettling. Kim had thrown 3 full-speed kicks. None had landed. Bruce still hadn't struck him. "Why aren't you attacking?" Kim demanded. Bruce met his eyes. "Because you haven't given me a reason to." Kim's jaw tightened. "You think I can't hit you?" "I think," Bruce said, that you're trying to prove speed instead of applying it. Kim stepped back, then nodded slowly. Very well, he said. I'll apply it. He closed his eyes for a brief moment. Then he moved. This time, there was no sequence, no pattern, just violence, a flurry of kicks low, mid-high changing angles, mid-strike, rhythm breaking and reforming unpredictably. Kim's legs blurred, his hips snapping with precision that would have dropped most fighters before they could respond. The sound was relentless. Crack, crack, crack. Bruce moved like a shadow, not darting, not retreating. He flowed, each kick missed by the smallest possible margin. Bruce's body wasn't evading so much as refusing to be present where the strike arrived. His feet slid, his spine angled, his shoulders rotated. Always just enough. Always calm. Kim pressed harder, faster, stronger. Frustration crept in, not visible, but audible. His breathing grew sharper, his exhalations louder. Then it happened. Kim committed. A full power side kick driven straight through the center line, designed to crush through anything in its path. This was the kick people talked about, the one that ended fights, the one Kim built his reputation on, lightning. Bruce stepped in. The kick extended. Bruce's hand met Kim's shin, not blocking, not stopping, but redirecting it downward by a fraction of an inch. At the same time, Bruce's other hand touched Kim's supporting thigh. Not struck, touched. Kim's foot hit the mat at the wrong angle. His weight collapsed inward. For the first time since the exchange began, Kim stumbled. Just one step. But it was enough. The room froze. Kim recovered immediately, posture snapping back into place, but something fundamental had shifted. Bruce stood directly in front of him now. Close. Too close for kicks. You see it now, Bruce said quietly. Kim didn't answer. You are very fast, Bruce continued. But speed that cannot adjust becomes predictable. Kim swallowed. You think you've beaten me? He asked. Bruce shook his head. No. He took a step back, giving Kim space. I think you've beaten yourself by chasing the idea of speed instead of its purpose. Kim stared at him. The students didn't move, didn't speak. 9 seconds had long since passed. Lightning had struck and missed. Kim straightened. Again, he said. Bruce nodded. Again, he agreed. But this time, Bruce shifted his stance. Just slightly. And everyone watching felt it, because for the first time, Bruce Lee was preparing to strike. Bruce's stance didn't change much. That was the unsettling part. No dramatic lowering of posture. No obvious tightening of muscles. No shift that screamed attack is coming. To most of the people watching, it barely looked different at all. But Kim felt it. The distance between them hadn't changed, yet the pressure had. The air seemed to lean inward, like something invisible had begun to occupy the space Bruce stood in. Kim adjusted his footing. For the first time since this began, he wasn't fully certain where the danger was coming from. Again, Kim said, but the word carried less certainty now. Bruce nodded once. Again. Kim moved first. Not explosively this time, not recklessly. He advanced with caution, feet light, testing range. His leg twitched a feint. Bruce didn't react. Another feint. Still nothing. Kim frowned. Bruce's eyes never left his center line. Not his shoulders, not his hips, his center. That made Kim uneasy. He launched a kick anyway, fast, clean, a mid-level roundhouse aimed at the ribs. Bruce stepped through it. Not away, not back. Inside. Kim's kick passed behind Bruce's spine as Bruce's forearm made light contact with Kim's thigh, guiding, not stopping. At the same moment, Bruce's other hand touched Kim's shoulder. Touch. Kim felt it immediately. Not pain. Balance loss. His upper body tilted forward a fraction more than intended. His planted foot adjusted to compensate. His rhythm broke. Bruce didn't follow with a strike. He simply stepped out again. You're late, Bruce said. Kim's eyes flicked up. Late, he repeated. You're deciding after you move, Bruce explained. That delay is small, but it exists. Kim exhaled sharply. You're saying my kicks are slow, he said. No, Bruce replied. I'm saying your decision is. That hit deeper than any physical contact so far. Kim attacked again. This time it was raw. A flurry of kicks meant to overwhelm, to force Bruce into defense. Low kick, high kick, spinning back kick. Kim poured everything into its speed, precision, conditioning. The room filled with sound. Bruce moved, and for the first time, he didn't just evade, he interrupted. As Kim's leg lifted for another roundhouse, Bruce's shin met Kim's supporting leg not with force, but with timing. Kim's weight shifted at the wrong moment. Bruce's palm shot forward. Not a punch. A short, snapping palm strike to the chest. It landed. Not hard. Not visibly devastating. But Kim's breath vanished. His torso recoiled as if struck from the inside. He staggered backward 2 steps, catching himself before he fell. His eyes widened, more in surprise than pain. The room erupted in sound. What was that? Did you see that? He barely touched him. Kim raised a hand instinctively to his chest. He could breathe, but it felt wrong, like the air wasn't cooperating. Bruce stepped back again. You felt it, Bruce said quietly. Kim nodded once. That wasn't a strike, Kim said. That was timing, Bruce finished, and alignment. Kim straightened, forcing his breath to normalize. You think one hit proves something? He asked. Bruce shook his head. No, he said, but it introduces doubt. Kim didn't answer. He attacked again. Harder. This time, he committed to a full-power spinning hook kick, the kind that ended matches when it connected. His body turned fully, leg arsing toward Bruce's head with terrifying speed. Bruce stepped inside the rotation. As the kick passed behind him, Bruce's elbow rose, short, sharp. It struck Kim's ribs not with brute force, but with sudden, focused impact. Kim grunted involuntarily. His kick completed its arc, but his body wasn't aligned anymore. He landed awkwardly, momentum carrying him sideways. He stumbled, not fell, but stumbled. The gym went silent. Kim froze where he stood, chest rising fast now. That kick had never failed him. Never. He looked at Bruce not with anger, not with arrogance, but with something closer to disbelief. You're inside my kicks, Kim said. Yes, Bruce replied. That's impossible, Kim said. No one steps inside that range. Bruce tilted his head slightly. Only if they wait, he said. Kim swallowed. The students didn't move, didn't speak. They were watching a belief die in real time. Kim adjusted his stance again, but now there was tension in it. His movements were still precise, but the confidence had cracked. He was thinking too much. Bruce noticed. You're fast, Bruce said, but you're trying to win with speed alone. Kim clenched his jaw. That speed built my entire career, he said. Bruce nodded. And it brought you here, he said, but it won't take you further. Kim laughed, but there was no humor in it. You sound like a teacher, he said. Bruce's expression softened. I am, he said, just not of kicks. Kim inhaled deeply. All right, he said. Then teach me. He attacked again. But this time, something was different. Kim wasn't trying to overwhelm Bruce anymore. He was trying to solve him. The kicks came slower, more measured. Probing. Kim tested angles, distances, reactions. Bruce responded in kind. He didn't dominate. He demonstrated. Every kick Kim threw revealed something. Every miss exposed a habit. Every recovery showed a reliance on structure that Bruce quietly dismantled. Bruce tapped Kim's leg as it passed, redirected his hip, stepped into blind spots, never rushed, never forced. Then, finally, Kim made a mistake, a small one. He overcommitted to a high kick, trusting speed to cover the opening. Bruce didn't block it. He didn't evade it. He stepped in and cut the base. Bruce's foot swept Kim's supporting leg not hard, not flashy, just precise. At the same moment, Bruce's palm struck Kim's chest again. Kim went down, not violently, controlled. He hit the mat on his back, breath knocked from him. Staring at the ceiling in shock, the room exploded. Students shouted. Some stepped forward instinctively, then stopped, unsure what to do. Bruce stepped back immediately, hands open. "No harm," he said calmly. Kim lay there for a moment, breathing hard. Then he sat up, slowly, carefully. He looked at Bruce like he was seeing him for the first time. "You didn't beat my speed," Kim said hoarsely. Bruce nodded. "I didn't need to." Kim laughed once, breathless. "All these years," he said, "I thought speed was the weapon." "It's a tool," Bruce said. "Like strength. Useful. Limited." Kim pushed himself to his feet. The room quieted again. He stood across from Bruce, no longer posturing, no longer boasting. "What would have happened," Kim asked, "if that had been real?" Bruce didn't hesitate. "You would not have had time to fall," he said. Kim absorbed that. He bowed his head slightly. "Not formally, respectfully." "I said my kicks beat lightning," Kim said. "But lightning only strikes once." Bruce returned the nod. "And misses sometimes." The students stood in stunned silence. They hadn't just watched a sparring exchange. They'd watched a philosophy collapse. Kim stepped back, gesturing to the room. "My students think speed is everything," he said. Bruce looked around. "They think it because you taught them," he said gently. Kim nodded. "Then I taught them half the truth." He looked back at Bruce. "What's the other half?" Bruce's gaze swept the room one last time. "Control," he said. "Before movement, before speed, before power." Kim exhaled. "Stay," he said. "Teach them." Bruce shook his head. "No," he said. "Teach yourself. They will follow." A long silence followed. Then Kim smiled. Not arrogantly, not defensively, but honestly. No one moved for a moment after Kim smiled. It wasn't the kind of smile his students were used to, not the proud grin of a master watching someone fail, not the confident smirk that followed a clean knockout in sparring. This smile was smaller, realer, like a man who had been carrying a certain story for years and had just felt its weight shift. Kim looked around the circle of students. They didn't look victorious. They looked confused. Some still had that wide-eyed expression you see in people who've just watched something that doesn't fit their world. Others stared at the mat where Kim had fallen, as if the mat itself had betrayed them. A few glanced toward Bruce and then away quickly, like direct eye contact might be dangerous. Kim raised his hands slightly, palms open, a gesture of calm. "Back," he said. Not harsh, not loud, but the tone in his voice was different now. Less command, more clarity. The students obeyed. They stepped back, widening the circle without understanding why they were doing it. Habit moved their bodies while their minds tried to catch up. Kim turned to Bruce. "You say control is the other half," Kim said. Bruce nodded. "And you say teach myself," Kim continued. "Voice steady, and they will follow." Bruce didn't respond. He didn't need to. Kim exhaled slowly, then stepped toward the center again, gesturing for Bruce to stand opposite him. "No more sparring," Kim said. "No more proving. Explain it." One student finally spoke, voice cautious. "Master Kim, are we done?" Kim looked at him. "We are done pretending," he said. That silenced everyone. Kim faced Bruce again. "When you stepped inside," Kim said, "when you touched my leg, it felt like my kick vanished." Bruce's eyes stayed calm. "It didn't vanish," Bruce said. "It arrived where I wasn't." Kim frowned. "That's just dodging." Bruce shook his head slightly. "No," he said. "Dodging is leaving the line. Interception is entering it." The words hung in the air. Kim repeated them slowly, like he wanted to taste them. Interception. Bruce glanced toward the students. "Speed is a straight line," Bruce said. "Most people worship it because it looks like power, but a straight line is predictable." Kim's jaw tightened slightly. "My kicks are not predictable." Bruce nodded. "Your kicks are very skilled," he said, "but your body still obeys mechanics." Kim didn't argue. That was the change. He waited. Bruce took a small step, placing his feet naturally. No theatrical stance, no performance. "Just posture. When you kick," Bruce said, You must shift weight. You must load the hip. You must commit to the center. Kim nodded. Yes, he said. That moment, Bruce continued, is where I enter. Kim's eyes narrowed. But my kick is already in motion. Motion is not the same as control, Bruce replied. Bruce walked to the side, gesturing for Kim to face him again. Show them, Kim said. Bruce nodded once. Kim lifted his leg slowly, chambering a roundhouse at half speed. He extended it smoothly, controlled, the kind of kick that looked beautiful even when it wasn't meant to injure. Bruce stepped forward, and the students saw it clearly now. Bruce didn't run away from the kick. He didn't flinch. He stepped into the space the kick needed to become dangerous. His forearm touched Kim's thigh-light contact. His other hand touched Kim's shoulder-light contact. Kim's kick still extended, but its power was gone. It looked like a blade that had been turned sideways. Kim lowered his leg, eyes wide. That, Kim said quietly, is what you did. Bruce nodded. You cannot fire a cannon if I move the cannon while you light it, Bruce said. The students stared. One of them spoke up, voice uncertain. So, speed doesn't matter? Bruce turned toward him. It matters, Bruce said, but you cannot worship it. You must use it. Another student stepped forward, bolder, but Master said speed wins fights. Kim didn't interrupt. Bruce looked at Kim briefly, then back to the student. Speed wins when two people play the same game, Bruce said. If you only train speed, you will always fight people who train speed. You will always stay inside that cage. Kim's face tightened at the word cage, but he didn't reject it. He absorbed it. Kim stepped forward. Then what should they train? He asked. Bruce's gaze swept the room. The ability to see, he said. A few students exchanged looks. Seeing is not eyesight, Bruce continued. It is understanding, pattern, rhythm, intention. Kim nodded slowly. You said earlier my decision was late, Kim said. That's what you meant. Bruce's expression softened slightly. Yes, he said. You are very fast, but you are deciding after you move because you are trying to prove something. Kim's lips pressed together. To prove I was lightning, he said. Bruce nodded. Kim looked down at his hands, then at his students. They believed me, Kim said. They believed you, Bruce agreed. Kim's voice lowered, and I believed myself. That honesty hit the room harder than any kick. Kim turned back to Bruce. Do it again, Kim said. Bruce raised an eyebrow. Kim's eyes stayed steady. Not to prove, Kim said. To understand. Bruce nodded once. Kim positioned himself, feet planted, center grounded. He lifted his leg for his famous side kick, the one his students had seen split boards and drop heavy men in sparring. He looked at Bruce. Ready, Kim said. Bruce stepped closer, not far, just enough to be inside the range where most people felt panic. Kim exhaled. The kick fired. Fast. The heel drove straight toward Bruce's torso, and in that same moment, Bruce's body shifted like a wave. Not big, not dramatic. A foot turn, a hip alignment, a subtle rotation. His forearm met the line of attack and guided it down just enough. His palm touched Kim's shoulder. His other hand touched the ribs lightly. Kim's kick landed in emptiness. Kim's body tilted a fraction. He recovered, but everyone saw it. When Bruce entered the line, the lightning became manageable. Kim lowered his leg, breathing hard. His voice came out different now. Not boastful, not defeated, just awake. All my life, he said, I built a weapon. Bruce nodded. And you did it well. Kim looked at the students. But I built it for one kind of war. The students were quiet. Kim took a step forward, standing beside Bruce rather than opposite him. That alone sent a ripple through the room. Masters did not stand beside challengers. They stood above them. Kim turned toward his students, voice calm. Listen, he said. The story I told you that my kicks beat lightning was pride. Some students stiffened, as if he'd slapped them. Kim continued. I wanted you to believe it because it made you believe in me. A deep silence. And I believed it, Kim said, because it made me feel safe. Bruce said nothing. He let Kim speak. Kim's eyes moved across the faces in the circle. You train speed, Kim said. You train power. You train impact. That is good. But if you do not train timing, if you do not train interception, if you do not train how to read the other person, then your speed becomes a habit. He paused, and habits can be broken. A student swallowed. Kim looked back at Bruce. What do you call what you do? Kim asked. Bruce hesitated for a moment, like he didn't love naming things. Then he said it anyway. Jeet Kune Do, Bruce said quietly. The way of the intercepting fist. Kim repeated it softly. The way of intercepting. Bruce nodded. Kim stared at the mat as if he was seeing it for the first time. Then he looked up. You didn't humiliate me, Kim said. No, Bruce replied. You could have, Kim continued. You could have hit harder. You could have made me bleed. Bruce shrugged slightly. Why, he said, would I waste energy proving what you already felt? Kim let out a slow breath. The room stayed silent, but it wasn't tense anymore. It was attentive. Kim glanced toward the front of the gym where the small desk sat, the place where fees were collected, where sign-ups happened, where the rules lived on paper. The old man who ran the place stood there watching, hands folded, eyes narrowed like he'd seen plenty of fights, but not many lessons. Kim stepped forward and bowed his head slightly. Not a deep, formal bow, a simple one. Stay for tea, Kim said. One student blinked. Tea? This gym didn't do tea. Bruce didn't smile, but something in his eyes softened. I have training, Bruce said. Kim nodded. Of course, he said. You always do. Bruce turned slightly as if to leave, then paused. He looked back at the students. You want to be fast, Bruce said to them. Then don't chase fast. Chase stillness. They stared. From stillness, Bruce continued, you can move in any direction, without delay, without telling the world what you are about to do. Kim watched him like a man watching his world rearrange itself. Bruce stepped toward the door. Before he left, Kim spoke again. Bruce, he said. Bruce turned. Kim hesitated, then said it. My kicks do not beat lightning. A few students flinched, as if hearing their master surrender something sacred. Kim continued anyway. My kicks are fast, he said, but they are not truth. Bruce nodded once. Good, he said quietly. Kim's eyes narrowed. Good, he repeated. Bruce's voice stayed calm, because now, he said, you can improve them. Bruce opened the door. The outside sunlight spilled in, harsh and bright. He stepped out without ceremony. No dramatic exit, no final pose. Just a man leaving after a lesson had landed. Inside, the gym remained still. Kim turned to his students. Line up, he said. They hurried to obey. Kim walked in front of them, hands behind his back, eyes thoughtful. Today, he said, we start again. One student swallowed. Master, what do we train first? Kim paused, then answered without looking away from the line. We train the part of you that moves before your leg. He tapped his temple, the mind. The students stood silent. Not because they were afraid, because they were listening. And somewhere in the back of the room, in the place where pride used to live, a new hunger had begun to grow. Not hunger to boast, hunger to understand, because lightning wasn't something you beat. Lightning was something you respected, and if you were smart, you learned to step aside before it struck.